everyone. My name is Paola Ortega. I am CEO of Global Networking, a firm that is organizing the Global Future Commerce 2026 that is going to take place on January 22. And this is going to happen thanks to the support of Cámara Ecuatoriana Americana de Cuenca. In the context of this event, I have the honor of interviewing Penny, my good friend Penny, that I'm going to invite to the scenario here. Hi, Penny. How are you?
Hi, Paola. Hi, hola.
Hola,
First
¿qué
of all,
tal?
todo bien. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to take part in this podcast. It is a genuine pleasure for me to be here talking to a friend, to a woman I truly admire, and with whom we also hope to collaborate on future projects as well. And also to share this space with other participants that are listening right now. So, this moment, I'm in Miami, participating in a World Congress of Football Lawyers, the IF Congress, where I have the honor also of speaking as a panelist in a session dedicated to the topic of football agents, which panel will be entirely in Spanish also. For me, it's also a great opportunity. It's an exciting challenge, I could say, because it combines passions of sports law and the international cooperation with other colleagues from around the world. So it's amazing being here right now.
Many thanks, Penny. This is a show of how women are transforming and evolving in all sectors. Penny Konitsioti Rizou, she's an attorney of law at her firm that specializes in law in sports, and she has a very interesting career. Actually, she's vice president of the Disciplinary Committee of Greek Antidoping Organization. She's also vice president, board of directors in the Athens Olympic Center. She's member of the permanent committee to deal with the sports violence. And as I said, she's founder and attorney at law at her firm. So it's very pertinent, Penny, to talk with you about competitiveness. This event is called Make Ecuador Competitive Again. So, Penny, thank you for joining me. And I would like to ask you from your international perspective, how would you assess the current state of business competitiveness in Europe compared to Latin America? And what are the key differentiators?
First, to start with, I believe the key pillars have been the discipline, the consistency, and the global vision. So, from my firm was built to combine legal excellence with an international perspective and collaboration with colleagues, as mentioned, from different countries around the world, and maintaining a personalized and human approach at the same time. That's why the name of the company is Penny Konitsioti Legal Services Boutique. The boutique makes that differences of the personal connection with the client. So at the same time, I would reply to you at the same time that yes, competitiveness is the main role issue around the world, also for Latin America and Europe as always. Which at this stage, Europe is at a stage of maturity and more stable regulation, while Latin America shows extraordinary potential for growth in the future, particularly in areas such as energy, technological innovation, and sports as well. So
Totally. I think the sports part is the most exciting part, and
yeah.
I think it represents this spirit of competitiveness, but from the good and positive way, right? In a
Exactly.
sense that you have to be better to get like better results, and not always it's about competitiveness. It's about like destroying your competition. You know that this is kind of a concept that is very hard to process.
Yes,
It can be very positive. It doesn't have to be like defeating the other, right?
exactly, because the main differences are, the legal certainty, one from the one hand, the institutional predictability, yet at the same moment, the creativity, flexibility, and the spirit that also characterizes Latin America. And these are offsets. All these factors can offset challenges and create great opportunities when all these are managed with vision and professionalism. Professionalism as always needs. So
Totally. And you mentioned vision, and I think we can pass to the block two of questions about competitiveness, but global leadership. And this is about the vision, right? You have worked with different markets and cultures. And in your view, what does it take for a company to become truly competitive in a world where local presence is no longer enough, like, and global thinking is essential?
Yeah, global think, of course, the company must think globally to start with, without losing at the same time, if possible, its local authenticity, which is very important when you are based in a country or in a certain region. So competitiveness today depends on the ability generally to adapt, to innovate, to build strategic international alliances. Businesses that understand cultural diversity as a strength and not as a problem are the ones that can manage to transcend borders and consolidate their global presence. This is my spirit on that matter.
And now I am going to take this part of as a female leader. It's not very common in very traditional sectors to be a female that is like dominating a sector. What advantages and challenges have you experienced while driving competitiveness and transformation?
The main challenge has been breaking stereotypes, of course, that are also in Greece, where I'm coming from, and generally speaking, in other countries as well. In more modern, we could say, you can find these stereotypes as well, and proving that the female leadership combines strength and sensitivity at the same moment. So it's an advantage that lies in our integrative vision based on empathy, because the women have empathy from the DNA.
Totally.
Communication, yeah, this is something on the DNA. So, to start with, okay, the basis, okay, there are exceptions as always. Communication and the ability to build cohesive teams. So, in traditionally male dominated sectors such as sports, where I'm working 20 years now, or finance, as you are also dealing with, women leaders can bring a different perspective that drives innovation and sustainability at the same time.
Totally agreed. I think like a mother of two, I remember you had two kids, like this, building a team and managing this. Yeah, we
Exactly.
can
That
always.
that's a hard work. That's a hard work,
That's a
indeed.
hard one. So, Benny, about opportunities for emerging economies. Ecuador, like it's a country that has to develop. We have this report of the World Bank that recently said that we are like 100 years from like in a separated from countries like Spain, like countries in Europe, in matter of competitiveness. So many small and medium-sized enterprises are looking to internationalize or raise their competitiveness. What advice would you give to a business that is preparing to take that leap?
Yeah, I will advise them to start by clearly defining their value proposition in the market, and by deeply understanding their target at the international market. So, uh, internationalism is not only about selling abroad; it's about positioning strategically with a story, a personal story or a company story, and the purpose at the same time. So, it is crucial to seek specialized legal also and financial advice, which is very important, and to build solid partnerships in the destination country or in destination countries, depending their globe and their goal in generally.
And from your experience, what are the most accessible entry points for an Ecuadorian company that would like to complete like their global, for example, partnerships or export strategies or digitalization?
Yeah, I would highlight the three essential pillars, which is digitalization, strategic international alliances, and sustainable innovation. From which generate trust, mutual learning, sustainability that ensures long-term competitiveness. These are factors that Ecuador has a privileged geographic position, we could say, and young talent people, which is two. These are two valuable assets that can become decisive when connected
Totally
to
agree.
global networks. Yeah,
Totally agree.
as
Global
as
networking, of
you, a
course.
young talented person like
Exactly.
yourself.
So, about the future, innovation, and country vision, like looking ahead, which sectors or business models do you believe will lead the global competitiveness? in the next years? Now we're not talking just about Ecuador, but in
Yeah,
general.
generally.
You're in Miami, and you're a person, a successful leader from Greece. Like, what is your perspective about this?
It's for sure energy transition. All these sectors that are linked to energy transition, digital economy, artificial intelligence for sure, which is very hot right now, and
Yeah.
sports as a global industry, where because sports are always interesting for the global, for the societies, for people, for everyone, for business reasons. So developing countries should invest in education, technological innovation, and institutional stability to take advantage of these opportunities.
And Penny, how is it that AI is transforming your firm? Like, I know legal tech is everywhere, and it's not. It is very fast. It's advancing super fast. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, the thing is, we also use technology and artificial intelligence because has radically transformed our profession as well as lawyers. My firm used these digital tools for document management, legal research, international client communication, which increases both efficiency and transparency. So, but the main key always remain between to have a equilibrium, to have a balance between technology and human judgment, human empathy, which is very important to have the professional insight, which is irreplaceable than from any artificial intelligence mechanism.
Totally. So, Penny, the theme, as I mentioned before, of the theme of this event, Future Commerce, is make Ecuador competitive again. You had to name one decisive action that both the private sector and the country should take to advance in this goal. What would it be, and why?
Professional service firms are strategic partners in development. So this would be a main that they help create legal certainty, transparency, and institutional trust. That I would say, in a competitive environment, this high quality advice could be essential for attracting investment and strengthening the country.
Totally agreed. And finally, how do you see professional service firms like legal, consulting, or tech playing a catalytic role in transforming the competitiveness landscape
This
of a
this is exactly what I was saying about this. That in a competitive environment, the high quality advice and regulatory compliance are essential for attracting investment and strengthening the country's international reputation. This is very important.
now for my audience that doesn't have, because compliance in Europe is super, we are all familiar with compliance. And in countries like Ecuador, it's not that obvious about compliance. And maybe you want to comment about maybe AI, how it helps to be compliant, and how like to strengthen the concept of compliance as the main factor for a firm that would invest in Ecuador, for example.
Of course, this is why I mentioned before that we are using also the technology and the electronic, the artificial intelligence compliance, which is very important for functioning and well providing services in all sectors. Imagine if we were talking about the legal sector, what's happening in other more industrial sectors. So it's very
Industrialized.
important to have that. Yes, of course.
Penny, it has been an honor to interview you. Many, many thanks, and
It's an
enjoy
honor for
your
me too.
conference.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope to see you soon again.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
also your country, your beautiful country, which hopefully we're gonna visit soon.
You are totally invited. Many thanks, Penny. This was Penny Konitsioti Rizou from Miami.